Oakton joins me live now from his party's conference in Torquay. And I think we can get a little bit of a daily politics exclusive from you, Paul. We won't get the result of your leadership election until later this afternoon, but you have decided on the party's new logo, is that right? You've gone with the lion?
That's right, Sarah. Today is a day for our party where our membership have been offered 2 democratic votes. The second will find the result out later, which is who our new leader will be. One that took place this morning in our main conference hall is what our new logo will be as we move into the future.
Well, we can show that to our viewers now. We'll bring up that logo. And it's a little bit controversial, isn't it? Because Britain First uses a lion as its logo. Is it a good idea for UKIP to adopt something so similar?
But we're not adopting something similar at all. There are no similarities between UKIP and Britain First. This is the UKIP lion. It is forward-facing, it is proud, it is determined, and it represents what our party are going to be as we move into the future.
And I don't know if you know this, so the Premier League, of course, which also has a lion as part of its logo, say they're consulting their lawyers about whether or not you've infringed their copyright by going for this logo.
And they're very welcome to. You know, we didn't know which one of the 2 logos was going to be chosen this morning, but obviously we ran both through the appropriate legal checks before we put them to our membership. So we're perfectly comfortable with the line that we put forward, and we're perfectly comfortable with the vote to adopt it by the membership. And as far as we're concerned, that is now our logo.
And you'll have a new leader by 5 o'clock this afternoon. A lot of people in the party are very uncomfortable about the idea of Anne-Marie Waters taking over. In fact, I think something like 17 out of your 20 MEPs say they'll leave the party if she's elected the leader. Will you stay as chairman if she wins?
Well, look, I was appointed for 2 months as an interim chairman last year, Sarah. That's ended up being 15 months, having served, as you rightly pointed out earlier, 3 leaders. So I think it's right now that I step away. That's regardless of who the next leader might be. My responsibility as the departing chairman is to make sure that there's a transition period that helps the party move forward under a new leader. I think it's absolutely true, and I'll accept this along with everybody else, that we are at a crossroads. The direction in which this party goes forward will be determined by who that new leader is going to be. I'm very proud that we're giving our own membership that decision. It's right that they should make that determination for themselves today, and we're all waiting to find out what that result's going to be. I have no idea what the result will be. We won't find out for a few hours yet. But
if Anne-Marie Waters does win, and she's very controversial because of anti-Islamic statements that she's made and her organisation Sharia Watch, will you stay as a member of the party? Would you be comfortable being in a party that's led by her?
This isn't me avoiding the question, Sarah. As chairman, I remain impartial in leadership elections. I have to, frankly. So my job, right up until the point where I announce who the new leader is to make sure that this party functions, that its organisation works properly, and that its members feel as though it has a good and successful future. That's what I'm looking to do. What the future holds beyond 5:15 later, we'll wait and see.
Well, let's talk about the future for the party under whatever leader. You heard in the film there Stephen Wolfe saying that the party is fighting like cats in a sack. How's that going to be sorted out?
Well, you know, it is absolutely true, and I've regretted this as chairman, that some members of our party have chosen, perhaps unsurprisingly, to turn on each other over the last, not actually just the last few months, but the last 14. But it's not unsurprising. We spent 24 years fighting something. We did an incredibly good job of it. We won the biggest electoral mandate ever given to anybody in this country last June. You know, our great leader moved to one side, understandably to have a rest, and it's taken a while for us to establish seniority in the wake of his departure. We've had a couple of leaders come, a couple of leaders have gone. This is clearly a pivotal moment for the party. I hope that whoever the new leader is, if people believe in the direction that they're going to set for this party, they get behind the leader. If they can't get behind that direction, then frankly it's right that they should leave.
So you're talking about a party in crisis and at the crossroads because you've lost a charismatic leader in Nigel Farage and rather lost your sole campaigning aim, which was to leave the EU, and we are going to leave the EU. So what is UKIP for Sarah, as we go forward?
Sarah, with respect, there is absolutely no confidence in this conference venue that we are going to leave the European Union. We have seen Theresa May, as Tim Aker quite rightly said in the preview there, we've seen her give in to free movement of people, give in to us paying money to the EU.
Well, only for a 2-year transition period, with a clear idea of leaving after that.
A 2-year transition period that was never on the radar when so many of our voters went with Theresa May, gave her their confidence and said, right, we've taken us this far, now you go and finish the job. She's incapable of finishing the job. She's demonstrated that. She's being led a merry dance by the European institutions. For what reason? We know they don't want Brexit. We do. And as we move forward, UKIP are going to be the only party in this country here to deliver it.
But how are you going to hold the government's feet to the fire over Brexit when you have no MPs in the House of Commons and your support appears to have collapsed? A lot of your voters have gone to the Conservative Party and clearly trust them to deliver Brexit. So what leverage do you have over these negotiations?
Really easy, Sarah. They're all coming back. They all went over to the Conservative Party. You mentioned in your introduction there that we stood far fewer candidates in the last election. We did, because actually a lot of our own members felt that we needed to give the Conservative Party that mandate to follow through on Brexit. But they have let us down. They are letting us down. We're not going to make that mistake again, and a lot of our voters aren't either. And just to be clear, I've heard 2 or 3 times now, UKIP's membership is deserting it. It is not. Yes, it dropped slightly at the end of last year. It's now plateaued. We're only a few thousand down on where we were a year ago. It's going back up now, and I think UKIP, with the right leader and the right drive, will be a party going upwards as we move into the future.
Well, I'll tell you what, just before we go, we've seen your new party logo. We're going to put it up on the screen for our viewers now, side by side with the Premier League's logo, so we can see how similar they are. And they are quite remarkably similar, I have to say, both in the colour as well as the look of the lion. Are you not worried that there's going to be some legal troubles about this? You're sure you checked this out before you put the lion logo forward to the party?
No, I'm not worried. For a start, I don't mind UKIP being associated with the Premier League.
They might mind being associated with UKIP, though, which may be why they're going to take legal action over this.
If they feel they have a right to take legal action, I'm sure they'll consult with their lawyers, as you said. We did our due diligence before we put these logos to the membership, and as I said, we're perfectly comfortable.
Well, Paul Oakden, thank you very much for talking to us and for giving us the...
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.